Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Neavin. I'm a board-certified plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills, and I'm here with renowned celebrity makeup artist Scott Barnes. And today we're going to talk about the aesthetic ideals of brows, brow shape, brow position. And as a plastic surgeon, I perform brow transplants, which means we can take hair from basically the back of the head and implant them into the brow for permanent results that are natural. I have Scott Barnes here because basically he can tell us what the aesthetic ideals are, because trends do come and go. And as you may recall, in the 1990s or so, plucking was in, thin brows were in, and now we have a much more bushy look. Things that have changed over decades and even centuries are the shape and the position, the arch angles, things like that. Now, as a plastic surgeon, I know how to make the brows, but to make them perfect, I go to Scott Barnes.
That's the inside, and here's the nose.
We should probably stop the follicle transplantation just shy of that, because the hair is going to grow into this tail.
The eye. So I'm celebrity makeup artist Scott Barnes, and I'm here with Timothy Neavin from Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery. I mean, you're one of the best plastic surgeons in the world.
Thank you. Thanks.
And you know what's great about what you do is you really have all these amazing techniques. I mean, you did my hair transplant. It's amazing. You know, the results have been amazing. And I get women all the time. I'm a celebrity makeup artist who's, you know, I worked with J-Lo for 11 years. I worked with Celine Dion, Gwyneth Paltrow, Julianne Moore. I mean, you name it, I've done their makeup. And I think one of the biggest things is people and styles change with eyebrows all the time. And now we're into a fuller brow. How do we get a fuller brow? People ask me, should I get my eyebrows tattooed? I'm like, it'll turn green. You know, you don't want a green eyebrow, you know. And it's very hard to cover with makeup. And you know, in a lot of my books I write, you should trim the brow, shave the brow. If you want a thin brow, you can shave it. You're not going to ruin the follicle. All that plucking and waxing ruin the follicle. Right. So I think the great thing about the two of us teaming up together is I come with the style and aesthetic, and you come with the technique.
I agree that it's important to define the aesthetic goals and ideals. And for decades, plastic surgeons have done studies. And one thing we've learned is that it changes.
It does change. Styles change constantly, but it doesn't change that far. It always goes reciprocal. It comes back into a circle. It starts at, you know, it really started in the 30s when you look at Hollywood and what happened in silent pictures. The eyebrow was very thin, and then into the 30s, and then the 40s, the eyebrows got a little bit, they changed again. They got a little fuller.
You know, it was also interesting. I think in some ways plastic surgeons have, and I don't redefine ideals, but with Botox and some of the procedures we do, I think we may have been at least guilty of maybe making the eyebrows for a period too arched, too high, and it
changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we're trying to correct that a little bit now, and the new beautiful brow, correct me if I'm wrong, is a little bushier and flatter, and maybe even lower to some degree. What do you think?
I think that you know, it's interesting. I worked with Kim Kardashian. She was on the cover of my second book. And she has a little bit of a fuller brow, and that really brought that back into fashion. But she's also Middle Eastern. You got to think, too. You've got to think about a brow and how it fits the person's face.
Right.
You know, what is your ethnic background? What are you trying to achieve? You know, you're not going to be this, like, little, frail, blonde girl with gigantic eyebrows.
Right.
Looks silly, you know?
Now, when you look at eyebrows and the shape of a face, is that something you consider? And how does the brow best shape or frame the eyes? What do you look at exactly?
Well, brows are important. There's a lot of trends going on at the moment. So when you look at the shaping or the framing of the face, it really does start with the brow. It can really make or break you. It can also, if the brow's too heavy, make your eye look droopy and heavy. So you got to really be careful. Just because it's on trend at the moment to have a thick, bushy brow, it may not work on your face. You know,
right,
so you've got to really be delicate about the way you approach your own brows.
Interesting.
It's taken me a long time to figure out mine.
Oh, well, you're the best at it, so I'm glad you can be on board with us.